Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing our Russia run, as it were, and we are going to be working on some small ball expansion. We do have kind of not too much infamy to work with, so this is kind of where things are going. Last episode we did kind of end with the idea of we are going to focus on furniture, so something we're going to do with our little extra authority here is we are going to put in taxes on luxury furniture. We're going to do the trick where you do this, and then you do this, and then you tax this, and then you lower that. And so that will kind of help out quite a bit, especially as the furniture comes in. All the construction is on the iron frame buildings. Last episode we did focus on this quite a bit, in addition to expanding in California, Xing, and Peru, Bolivia. I think these are some of the most efficient expansion spots possible, and so this feels pretty good. We'll be looking to incorporate Peru, Bolivia, but other than that, we're just going to annex all of these guys that are small, or we have claims on, in the case of Circassia and the Caucasian Emirate, and this sort of thing. Also vassalizing Finland. We see? I think we're going to arrest him. This is unfortunate. We are going to get minus success chance, and we annex these boyos. Again, just going to continue to annex through, annex these subjects. It's not a lot of infamy. We want to try and incorporate people into our markets, and so this is what we're doing. We're also spending all of our influence right now in order to try and get people to come on over to our side, or to rather have good relations. That way we can diplomatically incorporate them. Kind of keen on doing this as part of the run, because we haven't really gotten to do a big, kind of push for this sort of thing, recently at least. We do have some trade agreements with UA, Prussia, and Austria, which are all going to be pretty good. We are focusing on resources right now, but you can see they like us. They're not quite customs union like us, but they're not that far off, and so hopefully we can do something on that front. And we are, of course, getting refunded some influence as our relations get too high for anything to be happening. So we could just push this along, but let's do this one, and we will continue on trying to pass freedom of conscience so that we can make better use of, in particular, being able to invite agitators, because right now they need to be orthodox, if I'm not mistaken, and we would rather, just be able to kind of push and grab some of these guys as needed, although none of them look spectacular. The trade agreement with Mexico is spectacular. We have a defensive pact. We will look to defend them, and we see we can invite them to the customs union, and since we can't bankroll yet, I think we're just going to invite them and owe them an obligation. Eventually that will go away. We can bankroll it away, and Mexico accepts, and they are the first member into our customs union. We are going to, throughout this game, look to diplomatically incorporate them. This is kind of going to be our MO, and so big happy on achieving that. And atmospheric engine, which we have prepped by building... We do need to add to the construction queue in just a second, but we have prepped this by building out some amount of coal mines, so that we can turn on atmospheric engine pump in a bunch of places. This notably shifts them from being merchant guild owned to privately owned, and we are going to work pretty hard to expand out the mines. I'm pretty sure we have some space in Perm. That's not Perm, that's Ural. We do have some space available in Perm. We're encouraging the resource industries there, and so we will look to build that up. We might be having pop problems there. A little bit, not too bad. And so we will look to push that up, as well as continuing to push up the logging camps specifically. We'll fill up this queue, and then we will be back at it. So we have researched, and we researched first, stock exchange, to be able to exile this guy and perhaps get a market liberal. It's been 5 years since the start of the game, or a little over 5 years, and so we are going to try and get ourselves a market liberal here, and this is the plan. This was the plan with going stock exchange first. Now hopefully we're just handsome and lucky and we get it, but I suppose in theory you could keep restarting your game and getting a new checksum and just keep doing this. Ooh, now he's an abolitionist. Well, that will work for us. It's not exactly what we wanted, but it is still more than good enough. And this guy's a reformer. Wow, that is perhaps one of the luckiest. That is extraordinarily lucky, because this guy is going to help us get cultural exclusion at some point. But should we... Okay, we're definitely inviting the abolitionist boyo. That's big lucky. And he's going to want tenant farm. Oh, he's going to do tenant farmers, not... But he will support the other one. So we're going to invite this guy back. We're going to apologize, say, no, we didn't mean it. we are just going to invite you back, and then we are going to put the gentry back in government, and then we are going to promote this guy. Now, we will lose our other guy, but this is fine. We will grant him leadership, and then we're going to come in, and we're going to... Freedom of conscience, we don't need this anymore, because we're going to go straight for homesteading, baby. Let's go. So we get the luck sack type of thing. You know, moderates can still apparently exile as NEIG, which someone told me they couldn't in 1.3.5, but apparently they can. You will never roll an abolitionist landowner normally, but if you exile a moderate, it is possible to roll them, so this is the thing. We were looking for a market liberal. This will do. In theory, again, we could restart the game and keep doing that in order to do this, but this is fine. We will just get rid of serfdom here and now, and this will make the rural folk huge, big caked up, and it'll make them happy too. You know, happy rural folk, happy life. And so this is going to be really, really nice, and it is giving us infrastructure and agriculture and logging industry throughput. And again, we are emphasizing logging early on here, and everyone's happy, everyone's on board with this. Spectacular. So at this juncture, we really don't have that many furniture manufacturers yet, and we have really cheap hardwood, so we can export it to make a huge amount of our industries, which are a large part wood, a lot more profitable. And so this will make, you know, this will increase the investment pool transfer. Notably, we are still on traditionalism, even though, you know, we're heading towards homesteading. And once we get onto homesteading, then we will be able to move on to, you know, either interventionism or laissez-faire. And also, this will considerably kneecap the landowners, because they will no longer be the sole owners of, you know, buildings once you switch on to homesteading. They instead will be partial owners. So if we come in here, we take a look here, we see that there is a homesteading PM that is... Or will they be entirely replaced? No, there will still be a little bit of aristocrats left, but their clout will be hugely removed, because a lot of their clout is coming from the sub-farms right now. And we will be pulling that out from underneath them. And so instead it will be replaced with a lot of rural folk clout, which we would not mind a 20% rural folk kind of very early on, because this is going to be tremendous on Russia specifically, because look at this, it's going to give 20% logging industry throughput when they're, you know, happy. We see a play, and Austria owes us an obligation if we help them. Well, this is an interesting one. What can we really do with an obligation from Austria, though? We can slap someone around, but we're not looking to be slappy. We're not looking to get into this long, drawn-out fight, I don't think. I think we're just going to say no, and we're going to continue along our merry way here. Now, we also put in a ton of, you know, these here in the capital. We are going to need a lot more tools, and we are hitting the economies of scale cap here, which is going to be big, big nice for us. We're making money. That's because we don't have this. Hey, we get a sway. Wow, they're willing to transfer us Krakow. I don't think that's really worth it. We'll just stay out of this one. I think we also have trade agreements with both of these guys, and so this would get, you know, kind of nixed, and we're just luck-sacking our way through homesteading really, really, really quick here. We do have to fill out this queue. Again, we do want to focus on the logging in particular. These are set to auto-expand, but I think we can just, you know, do some of this action to fill out the queue in particular. We really, really need a lot more tools, though. And so I guess we will kind of kick them up a little bit in a couple of places up to max economies of scale bonus in order to properly be using this. We are draining the reserves quite nicely as well. This is all part of the plan, and of course we could declare war. So we will return state Circassia here. And just kind of do that. No one should interfere with us. We're Big Daddy, Big Papi, and this should be not something they do. And we're really just waiting to see if we just triple luck sack through coin flip. You know, it's a 1 in 8 chance, and of course we're so handsome. Oh, I guess we're not that handsome and good at this game. Anyways, we'll probably get it on the next one. But being easy peasy, we get homesteading. Let's go, baby. Now, we haven't unpaused yet. I really want to see this clout collapse. I think it should collapse. I'm not sure if it collapses instantly. It looks like it's going to collapse slowly as they... Yeah, look at this. It's just shooting down. Absolutely. Yeah, just kidding. It did shoot down, and it's going to continue to shoot down. And so... And on the back of that, we have everyone else gaining clout, but in particular the rural folk, because the rural folk are now going to be owning a lot of this land. And so we these guys will fade into the darkness, never to be seen again, which is exactly what we want. The Orthodox Church is coming up because they do have ownership share, but we have been suppressing them, and so the more of the clout should go to the rural folk. If we take a look at the rural folks' clout, look at that, baby. And so homesteading is a very interesting one. I haven't thought about it too much, but I think homesteading might be extremely good, in particular because these guys are pretty good early on. And look, we are getting 20%, or we are soon going to be getting 20% infrastructure. We're just going to leave this and watch this clout climb, baby, climb. Once they get above 20%, it will be really big, huge. And we can also start passing a bunch of other stuff, particularly anything that they really support, but also anything the Industrialists really support. I think we're going to try and move, in the direction of landed voting, this type of thing. The Orthodox Church doesn't like that. Can we get off monarchy? No, not yet. But landed voting, notably, you know who has land now? You know who owns? You know who owns some of the land? You know who owns it? Ha 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 ha, these boyos. And so I think landed voting would just give them an enormous amount of clout. Not that we're complaining, but maybe that's a little bit too much clout. So maybe we just wait for them to decay down, them being the gentry. Wait for them to decay down enough for us to go like Industrialists, Intelligentsia, and just skip over landed voting straight to census suffrage, because they are going to have votes. They're going to have votes based off of if they own land, right? Or no? It's just giving votes to aristocrats, of which there will be few. Capitalists. Clergymen. We don't like the clergymen very much. We do like the capitalists, though. And officers. I think we would prefer wealth voting if we just wait and chill a little bit, though. And there's nothing... Well, we would want to get off of this immediately. Who hates the laissez-faire? Probably the rural folk. But the rural folk are super happy with us right now. Maybe now's the time to try and squeeze that in. Can we do this? No. Alright, we're just gonna let everything kind of resolve itself. Oop, looks like we did annex Circassia, so we'll come after these guys. And that will be right quick as well. But super big nice getting on to homesteading, and the throughput should be pretty nice on the logging. If we take a look at perm, look at this. A full 59%, and it's not even like maxed out, which we can max it out, but I think they might have infrastructure problems, but it's soon going to be more. This is going to double. It's going to be like 70%, 60%, 70% throughput bonus on all of this here. So, yeah. So look at how cheaply we can export furniture here. This is impressive. So right now our furniture stuff's not fully employing because luxury furniture is really expensive and regular furniture is pretty cheap. Wow, somehow we can export it to these boyos. We'll do that. And so what we'll do in order to get them fully employed is we are going to do all of this exports, and this will also help us expand our customs union because we can build furniture way cheaper than everyone else because we have, again, like this stupid 60% throughput on our wood, which is super big nice, and so this will help out a lot. Looks like they want a trade agreement. We're fine with that because we don't want our pie thumbed, and so this is going to allow us to hopefully expand the customs union a whole lot when we are exporting all this furniture to everyone. Let's see, can we pull anyone in? No, big sad. We have an obligation we can absolve at some point, and we can rival Bavaria. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take that extra influence cheddar, and so this should be coming up pretty nice. We get empiricism unlocked, which is going to be nice as well, and we'll take a look at the clout. How you doing? Looks like the landowners still have some clout. They're still trending downwards. These guys are almost above 20%. Really concerned about the Orthodox Church. Really want to get off of, maybe we can try and go, oop, not that one. Maybe we can try and go for not state atheism, Jesus. For total separation at some point. Let's see, what do we have movements for? We have movements for freedom of conscience, though. And it has high support, high radicalism, so maybe we just leapfrog, do freedom of conscience first. We did come off of it, so I'm not sure we can... Yeah, we can't even pass it. Let's see what our agitators look like. Looks like nobody... I mean... kind of want to come off national supremacy, too. Really, these guys, who we have... at the very least been suppressing this entire time, these guys are the problem. It's them. And so, This is a bit tricky in terms of we want to try and pass something productive. I mean, maybe... No, not that. I mean, we do eventually want to go on a total sep. This will make them really mad. We could just force them to rev and then slap them down. I think maybe we'll do that. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but we'll see what it looks like. Alright, it looks like we got a negative event, and not only did we roll a negative event, like, it's just not there in terms of clout for support, but now we can go freedom of conscience, of which we have a movement to enact it, and there's some radicalism in this movement, and this movement will allow us to, you know, work towards kneecapping these guys, in particular, because on all these we'll be able to go free churches, you know, secular administration, these sorts of things, and so it's probably a good leapfrog. There's no other law that looks particularly nice on the pass. I mean, we could go agrarianism, we could go interventionism. Maybe this is the way. These guys are still pretty happy with us. So yeah, maybe we just try and go interventionism, which is going to be particularly good. That way we can avoid, you know, losing the bonus from the rural folk, which I think is particularly good right now, because they would oppose that. And interventionism is not too bad. We can go here. We'd prefer laissez-faire, but, you know, I think that this is probably going to be a little bit better. And also, you know, the capitalist-owned buildings and stuff. Yeah, I think this will just allow us to construct a lot more, and the construction's perhaps worth more than going, you know, total separation, or sorry, freedom of conscience, when we want to go total separation eventually, and anyways. And so we'll do this, and we will do this one as well, because that was our negative event we rolled, and now we're just going to try and do interventionism instead. We do have, let's see, how much infamy? A decent amount. We will just make these guys a puppet now. That way we can annex them. You only have to do a quarter if they're already a subject, which they are, and once they're a puppet, then we don't have to worry about losing them once we go off of, what is it, being a monarchy. Looks like our trading, including exporting a whole ton of furniture, which we can produce cheaply, is paying off, because we can pull now Brazil into the customs union. We'll owe them an obligation, but we're pretty far from being able to bankroll, and so we'll just be fine owing them an obligation in order to get in on this. We could have gone trade agreement first, but they accept the customs union, and the customs union expands a little bit more. You know, working on Brazil's also a particularly good one. We will kneecap them over time, because we want to, you know, eventually incorporate them. This is nice. We don't have too terribly much steel, and so we will look to turn this on piecemeal. We're going to come in here, and we're going to turn this steel on, and then we're going to come in, and we're going to expand this a lot. And look to get this up, and we are progressing now towards railways, which are going to be big nice, and because we are starting to suffer some, you know, they don't have enough infra, not enough, and so this will help us out quite a lot. We are running a pretty big deficit right now, and we kind of want to get out from under this. We might be kind of looking to stop suppressing or bolstering some of these guys relatively soon and switching to consumption taxes, you know, as things kind of go on. We're fine with secret societies, and of course that, but yeah, wow, that's also big lucky that we're not spreading that. We'll also try and resolve this bureaucracy problem as well. Looks like the U.S. is trying to step up and be a man and try and clap Mexico, so we're having none of that. They also put in humiliate Russia incidentally, so there's that. I guess we're going to declare rivalry because they are rivaling us, and we can float the extra influence from that, allowing us to do more stuff. We're moving people over to the fronts. I don't think they beat us in this, and, you know, we're going to enforce on Finland relatively quick here. I said we're going to enforce on Finland relatively quick here. And so, yeah, we're also getting lucky on the interventionism ticks, which is super nice. But, yeah, so it looks like we have war with the United States. We are going to take a look at Frederick von Bern and Nicolai. We might have to conscript up in order to win this, actually. Notably, we didn't swap onto skirmish, although we got it. But maybe we don't need to conscript up. Maybe we just let these guys do their thing. They finish out, and then we use those guys to land over back here. And we just move these guys around to try and make the fronts a little bit more even. That way, they won't be able to push while we try and land back here, you know, hit it from the back, as it were. And we're going to land with our 9 stack. Oh my god, does it highlight them now? Huge QOL if it highlights. I didn't see it quite. Oh, it does kind of... It highlights if you hover over them. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Huge QOL that we see in 1.3.5. I think we have another Navy. Yeah. And so, let's see. We do care about some of this stuff. We would rather have these guys get stronger, so we'll do that. And then this guy, who's this 10 stack? Frederick von Berg. We'll have him land as well, coming in on the U.S. capital with Frederick von Berg. And this war should be relatively easy. You know, we'll see how much Mexico is able to help. But yeah, being able to break this is just super, super, super nice. Because we are eventually going to get all of this territory from Mexico when we protectorate them and then vassalize and annex them, this sort of thing. And we do need to fill up the queue, but this is a nice, nice development for us. And we're in on DC as well. We pick up railroads, and it's very, very nice to pick them up. We are, of course, going to focus the railroads. I imagine once we finish the railroads, we need kind of here to fix our economy up, that we will be in extraordinary shape. We have been hemorrhaging a little bit of money. We do have negative convoys. That's from our war. No big deal. We will also come in here and make sure that this is on wooden passenger carriages. We, of course, want to make good use of that. We'll put this on slaughterhouses, and we will continue to win this war. Now, it does take us quite a lot of convoys to, you know, bring these boyos over here, and so that is a thing, but we are pushing here, and we are doing well on this war. We are going to also put this designate strategic objective. Why can't we... Alright. Well, we want to designate the strategic objective being the District of Columbia, but that's not working, so we'll just let them push over here, as it were. Maybe we need to move one of these guys over. I think we'll move this guy over to try and defend that front. You know, this way we can try and enforce on them faster, and hopefully this shakes out okay. I'm a little concerned seeing Mexico get pushed and have a little bit of a negative and our landing seeming to go sideways, but I think we can swing this one. We pull Chile into the customs union now. It's important to note we are doing a bunch of trade with all of these South American powers. We are looking to pull them into the customs unions. Now, they will pull off a lot of troops from us, or a lot of guys from us, but this is fine, because, you know, we are just looking to protectorate them and then annex them the slow and steady way. We will be coming for Peru, Bolivia soon here, but it looks like the USA has had about enough of this, and so I'm guessing that they're just going to take American war reps and then kind of be done with this, and we will be done with this war, which will be nice. We are losing a bit of money. We do want to swap to skirmish infantry, so this is kind of what's going on here. So we finish our war with the USA, and we should have pretty low infamy by now. We're only at 7.4. We are going to go a little high in just a second, so we are going to check and see, can we pull anyone into the customs union, and we see we can pull in UA, so we will owe them an obligation. This is fine. It means we can't annex them quite as quick, but again, we're kind of far away from getting, you know, central banking, which allows us to bankroll, so we'll be doing this for now. We will want to go pharmaceuticals into Quinine after this. And so we will get them into the customs union and then declare our next war. They say yes. The customs union expands once more. And so now it is starting to get big caked up here. But what we will be doing is we kind of want to get more money. And so we're going to shake down Great Qing. What we're going to do is we're going to go after Shaanxi, which is the best province in the game that does not have a unique building. And then we will also go after war reparations for them. Now, hopefully UK doesn't join against us. We have pretty good relations. They probably won't. I think even if they did, we'd still be able to win. And we will also put in here, we will be liberating a country. We will be looking to liberate Yunnan here, who we will try and get into the customs union as well. We will also be working on... can we liberate another country? Wow, that's a change. That is a change in 1.3.5, so that is a bit interesting. But mostly we're looking for war reps. We will make this a primary demand. We might make Liberate Yunnan also primary. We might wait and see if anyone joins. It's the UK that can join. I think we already opened their market. We can apparently just liberate another country. So we might liberate another country. Would not be surprised if they back down, which is why we want to make sure that the war reps are in there. But we'll take a look, and we'll come back once we figured it out. Well, that was nice. They just backed down, so we are sitting at a little bit of a high infamy score, so we don't want to do anything that's too high infamy, because we don't want people to develop negative attitudes towards us, because it's going to make it harder for us to expand our customs union. But we are going to look to get these guys into the customs union through UA, who is part of the customs union. We might look for a little bit of a small ball war. You know, trying to dominion, in particular, like someone like Brunei, dominioning Brunei might be okay, because this is only 2.3 infamy. Look to annex them later. We can't annex Finland yet, this sort of thing. But, oh, actually, maybe we just go after Cochin here, because this is kind of a Russian thing to do. It is 5 to infamy. That's not okay. So we're going to go and we're going to dominion them down here. Or actually, I think we're going to conclude this episode here. The big one is we haven't gotten to interventionism yet, but we did manage to exile and get an abolitionist landowner, which is big memes. And with that abolitionist landowner, we managed to go homesteading. And this is kind of the big feature of this episode here. And we're trying to get off traditionalism. Once we get off traditionalism, the IPT will basically like double. It'll go way up because this is getting 50% penalty. We're currently on traditionalism, 50% penalty to capitalists, and so this will help so much for us making money. Again, the exile trick that we used earlier in the episode, in theory we could keep re-rolling it over and over again until we get a laissez-faire guy. This was kind of one of the ideas we had when going stock exchange first, but we're kind of okay with this. Wee woo. We're really okay with the ambulance outs. Actually, we'd rather that not be happening. But we also defended Mexico, which was big nice, because we're looking to incorporate them eventually. You know, if we weren't infamous and we had an obligation with them, we would be able to protect them straight away. Similar thing with what we're trying to do with Brazil, and it's so nice to see this customs union come along just very early into the game. And these guys notably are going to build agrarian stuff, and so we can go even more capitalist oriented. And so we are about to have a huge come up, and again, getting a lot from this Diplopact from China paying us out. 21k. It is down a little bit because we have forced them to release Yunnan and UA here, which is a pretty taxing on what they got going on. I think their capital is over here. I'm not sure where their market capital is. I would venture to guess it's in the same spot. But yeah, this has been a fun little episode. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and or share / hit the notification bell. And other than that, have a good one.